Imagine a world where highways connected continents, aqueducts carried clean water to millions, and laws shaped society for centuries to come. That was Rome, the most powerful empire in the ancient world. But here's the paradox. The same Rome that controlled the known world collapsed into dust. So why did it happen? Was it the barbarian invasions, the corruption of emperors, or was Rome destined to fall because every civilization carries the seeds of its own destruction? Today we're diving deep into the real reasons the Roman Empire fell and the shocking lessons for our own world. The height of Rome. To understand the fall, we first need to understand the height. By the 2nd century AD, under Emperor Trajan, Rome ruled 5 million square kilometers, stretching from Britain to the Middle East. Its population, around 60 to 70 million people. The empire built more than 250,000 miles of roads, some of which still exist today. Its military was unmatched. Disciplined legions of over 300,000 soldiers patrolled its frontiers. In short, Rome wasn't just a state, it was the world. The popular myths. Most people think Rome fell in 476 AD, when the last Western emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed. But history isn't that simple. Rome didn't fall in one night. It crumbled slowly over centuries. And the causes? Not just barbarians charging at the gates. In fact, some historians argue Rome was already rotting from within. Edward Gibbon, in his legendary book The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, 1776, wrote, "Rome fell because of the loss of civic virtue among its citizens." But was it really laziness and decadence, or something much bigger? Internal rot. One key factor was political instability. Between 235 and 285 AD, just 50 years, Rome had over 26 emperors, most of whom died violently. Imagine running a superpower where your boss changes every year by assassination. Then came economic decay. Rome's currency, the silver denarius, was devalued so much that by the 3rd century it was nearly worthless. Inflation ran wild. Taxes grew unbearable. In some regions, people abandoned their land just to escape tax collectors. Historian Peter Heather put it bluntly, Rome's collapse was as much about economics as it was about swords and spears. The Barbarians. Of course, no story of Rome's fall is complete without the barbarians. The Goths, Vandals, Huns, and Franks, names that struck terror in Roman hearts. But here's the twist. Many weren't invaders, they were refugees. In 376 AD, thousands of Goths begged Rome for asylum from the Huns. Rome let them in, but mistreated them, starving and abusing their families. The Goths revolted. In 378 AD, at the Battle of Adrianople, the Roman army was crushed. Emperor Valens himself was killed. Historian Ammianus Marcellinus called it a disaster and disgrace without parallel. From then on, Rome was never the same. Christianity and cultural shift. Another controversial factor, Christianity. Before Christianity, Rome worshipped dozens of gods and the emperor himself. Loyalty to the empire was almost a religion. But after Emperor Constantine legalized Christianity in 313 AD, the empire shifted. By 380, Christianity was the official state religion. Did this weaken Rome? Edward Gibbon thought so, writing that Christianity made Rome passive. Others disagree, saying Christianity gave people unity in chaos. But what's undeniable is that Rome's cultural identity was changing, from a militaristic, pagan powerhouse to a spiritual divided empire. The fall of the West. By the 5th century, Rome was fractured. The Western Empire was weak, while the Eastern Empire, Byzantium, thrived. In 410 AD, the unthinkable happened. Rome itself was sacked by the Visigoths under Alaric. Saint Jerome wrote, "The city which had taken the whole world was itself taken." Finally, in 476 AD, the Germanic chieftain Odoacer deposed Romulus Augustulus, the last emperor of the West. But here's the catch. The Eastern Empire, Byzantium, survived for another 1,000 years until the fall of Constantinople in 1453. So did Rome truly fall, or just transform? The real causes. Most historians today agree, Rome didn't fall from one cause, but from a perfect storm. Political instability, economic collapse, overexpansion. Rome's empire was simply too big to govern. Barbarian pressures, climate change. Evidence shows drought and plague weakened populations. Cultural transformation through religion. In short, Rome collapsed not because of one sword or one battle, but because empires are fragile, and complexity makes them vulnerable.